Okay, we're working on question 3.2D. Talks about a building's on fire here, and water is shot at a distance of 42.7 meters away. The initial velocity is your code, and the angle is 37 degrees. I'm going to go with code 50. Excuse me, excuse my voice, I'm still a little sick. And then we're going to solve for VIY and VIX a little bit later, using cosine and sine, which I've done here. So we figure out VIX using CA, be 40, and VIY is equal to 30. And this is kind of different. This question is unique because they gave us the horizontal distance in the beginning. We can actually use this and this later to solve for the time, as opposed to using the vertical column, which is pretty typically what we use for time. But in this case, it'll be different. So here's our chart for our givens. 40, AX is equal to 0, and DX is equal to 42.7. VIY is 30, and AY is negative 9.8. The question wants to know how high does it go up in the top of the building here. So I'm going to go with DY is what we're solving for. Step 2, what are my givens? For the vertical common, we're given BIY and AY. For the equation we should use, there's only one. DY equals VIY times T plus 1/2 AY T squared. 4, DY is equal to 30 times T, which we don't know, plus 1/2 times negative 9.8 times T squared. T can actually be solved using a bypass, which I'll do up here. We can solve for T. Bring this down. We can solve for T. Let's bypass here. This time we can actually use the X column because we have VX, VIX, AX, and DX. So we just use V equals D over T because AX is equal to 0. So I'm just going to use DX is equal to VIX times T. Step 4, 42.7 is equal to 40 multiplied by T. So step 5, T comes out to be, let's take a look. So you get 42.7 divided by 40. 1.0674 or 674. Sorry about that. So it's let's do it 1.07. Now that comes back down to here and to the other time. So now we have 1.07, 1.07. So to solve for this, we do 1.07 squared times negative 9.8 times 1/2. We're going to add that to 30 times 1.07. So we get 26.5. That's dy. dy is 26.5 roughly. Now for anyone who has a code less than 20 or below, you're going to notice that your answer is going to be negative, which kind of makes sense because what that's basically saying is that the hose doesn't go far enough. And if the water could go through the ground, so if you have codes 20 or lower, you're going to get a negative number because technically the object parabola is down into the basement. So that's the reason why the answer is negative, because if this is 0 here, the water is hitting somewhere down in the basement if the building went down farther.